¿Te gusta? What is up, guys? Jay here, back at it again with another electric scooter. This one is made by RCB. This is a Walmart brand. The model is the R17, and this is the cheapest Walmart e-scooter that you can get that handles 265 pounds. There's a lot of other cheaper alternatives, but they don't handle my weight. And so I want to really beat this thing up and put it to the test and see if this really has value into it. So this scooter comes with 8.5-inch tires. It has a 7.8 amp hour 36 volt battery as well. Now it can handle up to 265 pounds, like I said, but the coolest part about it is that it only weighs 33 pounds. So portability on this thing is going to be absolutely phenomenal. And it comes with dual brakes as well. You get electronic braking and disc braking on this particular one. It does have an LED display. And yes, it is foldable, of course, guys. So it came in this little tiny box, as you can tell. And it seems to be very good for the price. And it does have decent reviews at walmart.com. So here, of course, we're going to take this opportunity to pop it open. And I don't need my electric hoist today for sure. This is a pretty lightweight scooter, and I can already see that it does come with a headlight, which is nice, especially at this price point, guys. Keep in mind that this is like the cheapest of the cheap, and typically we get stuff from Amazon, but this time I decided to do things a little bit different and then just get it from Walmart instead. Alright, so let's go ahead and start cutting all these zip ties. I'm going to try to fast forward this part so that way you guys don't get bored. In here, I believe we have the charger. Keep in mind that this is a 36 volt scooter, so I'm not expecting a big charger. This one here is 42 volts, indicating that this is in fact a 36 volt scooter, which is cool. You get the power cord as well. So we're going to set this aside here for a second. Check this out. We get the manuals, some Allen drivers and screws. I'm assuming that could be for the handlebar. As I mentioned, I think earlier, this scooter has a one-step folding system, and then hook up this latch like so. For the handlebar, we simply connect this one wire, and it is supposed to have two arrows. Make sure that the two arrows are pointing towards each other. Then you can hide the access wire inside of the steering column or steering pipe, whatever you guys want to call it. And now we simply insert here the handlebar into the steering bracket, and that's all you have to do, guys. Now you grab this, I think this is a size 4 or 3 Allen driver, and now we simply install the screws on here. Now these are not pneumatic tires, meaning they're not inflatable. They are solid tires, so you don't have to worry about inflating anything or replacing tires or anything of that nature, which is really nice. And we do have a tail light that actually works on the rear. It is in fact right here. Let's go ahead and remove this little protector. Boom. And then we have a front light. So the value so far on this scooter is absolutely phenomenal. For the price, it goes up to 90 miles an hour. You can't beat it, guys. Our next step here is to simply scan the QR code. So you get your camera, scan the QR code like so, open the link, and then it'll take you directly here to the RCB app, in which I already have downloaded, and I have it set up on here. So you have to enter your email, your credentials and whatnot, and then it'll automatically detect your scooter. You have to turn it on. Okay, so luckily for me, mine had power, and I already learned how to activate the light. So if you double press it quickly, that turns on the light. Double press it again, turns it off. If you single press it, that'll take you from eco to drive, and then from drive to sports, and it is already set up at miles per hour. I'm pretty sure you can change that on the app. So anyways, discovering devices, we got here the R17. So we're going to add the R17. And once you are connected here via Bluetooth, it turns on this little icon, and then we click on done, and voila. So you can lock the scooter directly from the app. Then we have here the modes in which you can drive it. So we just change it to drive. you had to click save, and then we can change it back to sports. Click save. Headlight, you can turn it on from the app as well. You can even turn on the cruise control from here. Then of course it gives you a little warning just to be careful that they recommend you have a little bit more experience before turning this mode on, which is very nice. Serial start, you can turn it off. Okay, let's see. Oh, there we go. If you actually have it enabled, serial start means that it'll take off from the get-go. You don't have to kickstart it in order for it to go. Super lightweight, only 33 pounds out of the box, and that's absolutely phenomenal. Keep in mind that that hook, you can also use it to carry things like grocery bags. I'm pretty sure it'll hold it. I think you had to do a final assembly, meaning you had to adjust it with one of these included Allen drivers so that it stays there nice and snug. We do have a little bell as a horn. Again, the throttle, we get the handle grips and the one brake lever here. Now the brake seems to be a little bit on the soft side. You can always adjust it here on the rear. I think it came with an Allen driver for that. To charge it, it's on the left side. It's right in here. There's like a little flap. You remove that. You insert your charger there, guys. The rest is really self-explanatory. I don't think we had to be Einstein to know how to operate a scooter. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and put this thing to the test. We're gonna do our typical things that we do on scooters, such as hill test, max speed test, and maybe a little bit more just to see how well it handles at this price point. Alrighty guys, so here we are now at the park, and we have the RCB R17 all charged and ready to go. We have it on sports mode, but of course I want to provide the maximum speeds. The speedometer on this scooter is accurate, and right now I'm not sure if you guys can see that we have it on eco mode, and it is doing about 8 miles per hour. So this is drive mode now, and drive mode takes us up to, it seems like 12 miles an hour, 13 miles an hour, and it seems like it's going to top right about there. So this feels a lot better. I'm pretty sure you can save a whole bunch of battery by using it on drive mode. I think this is ideal for pretty much every use out there. Anything above 12 miles an hour, it's quite respectable. There we go, guys. So now we are in sports mode. Now this is a scooter recommended for teenagers, and I can see why. You know, teenagers are typically light in weight. I would say that if you are more than 160 pounds, then you are pushing it with this scooter. I'm 214 pounds because I lost a few pounds as I keep advertising. And yeah, I mean, it does push me, as you guys can tell, but it's not easy for the scooter to do so. So sometimes if I'm on a slight decline, it goes to the 20 or 19 miles an hour. Like right now we are doing 17 miles an hour. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but I find it difficult to actually reach the 19. Right there we are doing 19 miles an hour, but that's because I have some momentum on here, and that's helping quite a bunch. For $2.99, I will buy this again anytime. Well, yes guys, as you can tell, or maybe hear, this thing is just super quiet, super smooth. So let's do another stopping power test here. And yeah, the rear tire does skid quite a bunch. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but that was a lot of skid. I mean, pretty much the entire time that I was stopping, it was skidding, and that's because we don't have pneumatic tires on here. These are solid tires, and solid tires tend to be a little bit less grippy. Right here we are doing a more aggressive incline of about 15 degrees, guys, and I'm a little skeptical. I don't think it'll make it. Right now we are doing about 9 miles an hour. I don't think the scooter is going to make it, and if it does, I'll be impressed. So we are doing 5 miles an hour right now, and it is quite there. Yep, we made it, guys, without any help whatsoever. But I've done this same test on other scooters, and I never struggled so much like I did now, guys. So this is the gravel part that I was mentioning, and on the gravel it's doing just fine. I don't see any issues, but the tires are not grippy, so it's going to try to kind of like lean on you a little bit sometimes, especially when you are curving or turning. It's going to feel like you want to fall from the scooter, which is not safe whatsoever, guys. The suspension, it's okay. I mean, it's nothing to brag about. Remember, this is more like an on-road type of scooter, so the suspension is not good for off-roading. We know this information already, but it is decent. It is okay. Once again, we are doing that little off-roading, and it went from 70 miles an hour to about 4 in no time. Wow. But let me tell you guys, the cool part about these scooters is that, well, they are sold by Walmart. You can find it on their site, and if you do have any issues with them, any quality control issues, you can always return them quite easily without many questions being asked, and that's a positive in my opinion. I gotta tell you guys, so far it feels like a scooter that I can rely on for many miles to come, and that's good news. Now, is it a little bit sluggish? Absolutely, it is sluggish. So don't expect a speed monster right here, because you're not going to get it. So far we have done about 5 miles and we still haven't lost another bar. But just like with many other electronics out there, sometimes you get good results for up to like 7-8 miles, and then it starts depleting very quickly after that. So like every two miles you lose a bar after you have done about 8 miles approximately. So just calculate that, guys, and that's how the battery goes on this. So I lost a bar at about 6 miles or 5 miles, I think it was, and so now it's holding up for that third bar to go away. But then the last 2 bars, they don't last much longer. They last, like, I would say the second bar lasts about 2 miles, and then the last bar is like a mile and a half, and then you are out of battery. Keep in mind that with the RCB R17, you don't get a horn, you only get a bell. But that's okay, because I have seen more expensive units out there that only come with a bell as well. So for this being $299 and at least having a bell on here, I'm not sure if that's a regulation or not, but hey, that's quite awesome if you guys ask me, and the bell is quite functional as well. Something I can admit and promise you is that you will have a lot of fun with this scooter. Let me tell you guys, especially when it doesn't break the bank. Hey, what's going on? I can promise you and assure you guys, you will have a blast with this scooter. And the cool part about it is that, again, it is rated at 165 pounds, so it can hold an adult, although it is recommended for teenagers. I guess the lighter the weight, the more torque you're gonna get. Some of the cons of this particular scooter, well, we know them already. It can't off-road at all, and if you hit the gravels, you run the risk of sliding and getting hurt, and if you brake too hard, you're gonna skid very easily, causing the risk of you falling down and getting hurt, of course. So those are the cons. For the great things, well, we know it is affordable. It has a decent lasting battery for the price. Not sure how long it's going to last, but it has a decent battery, and for the most part, decent power at this price point. I mean, $299, guys. For some scooters, that's how much the battery replacement costs, $299. So you can imagine that this is the cheapest I've ever tested, and I can tell you that it compares to other scooters in which they had a value of $500–600. Well, guys, this has concluded our unboxing, setup, and review of the RCB R17, the $299 scooter that even comes with an application. And this application is actually quite useful. You can do a lot of things directly from here. even turn on the cruise control. You can also turn on and off the zero start, in which I have it enabled. So again, it has great features. It even has the odometer straight from the app as well, things that you don't see from the little display given here on the RCB R17. Very nice. I also enjoyed the braking power. Now keep in mind that the rear tire can skid very easily, so I would say do not press that lever too hard, so that way you don't uneven your tread on this tire on the rear, which is non-inflatable. You can't replace it, so when it's done, it is done. You had to replace the entire wheel. So this is again the display we have, and when the cruise control's on, you can see the light blinking, indicating that it is on. And you should be very careful with this feature because it can take you off guard and possibly cause an accident. So with this being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, comment, and share. Click on the bell icon so that you don't miss future videos like this, and I'll see you on my next one.